Well, I'm getting ready for YouTube tonight. Just got done doing some of the editing video that's been coming out in the Delphi case. And you can tell that they're editing it. They're putting in certain kinds of hats. And this is the hat that the guy wore, and the guy had a camera on him and all this and that. I've seen them. Them videos have been out for a while. But don't get wrapped up into it because are they monkeying with the photo or the footage of Bridge Guy? Well, sure they are. You know, everybody puts their own suspected on it or their own uh, video filter or software to make it look what they want it to look like. So but they continue to believe it was one guy. There's no way it was one guy. I'm not believing that it was one guy that did that. I don't think Chadwell is capable of doing it by himself. Uh, they would have had to kill them girls right away for him to get away with it. Both of them. Simultaneously. Meaning together at one time. And I don't see that happening. Because the other girl, once one of the girls was killed, the other one would have flipped out and started screaming or possibly running. So, you know, I don't buy it. The only other theory I can come up with is somehow he tied both of them up and then did it separately or something. I'm still leaning towards there was more than one person there because you can hear somebody in the background either screaming or something. Why Bridge Guy's voice is being said. So that tells me somebody had the phone and there might have been hostages that the girls might have been already tied up or whatever. You know? But one guy to do that and get out of there, well, he would have had to known that area, meaning he would have had to almost live there for a while to know the area, how to get in there and out of there without being seen, where to sleep or wait for people. I don't know. One guy, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But these crime cases have watched enough of my videos and stolen enough money from me as it is. And most of them are suspects in the case. Was it a bunch of them? Yes. Why are some of these people continuing to say it was only one guy wrapped up into it? I don't think so. Especially if these guys are saying that it was filmed and the guy had cameras on his hat, goggles with cameras on it, and yada yada yada. That means the guy did it to make money off of it so he can show it. You know, he can repeat his killing for himself, but also make $1 off of it. So it ain't making sense. Their whole theory, it was one guy had a whole bunch of cameras. No, I don't think. No, I don't think it went down that way. I don't even think there was a camera involved. I think somebody did something down there to try and make it look like something it wasn't. They keep talking it was a gory killing, but yet there's no crime scene photos you know, to say yes, that's true. So there's a lot of people not buying any of these people story. There's a lot of people think that they're all a gang, a club, a racket, cartel, whatever you want to call it. And it don't make sense. One guy, no. And if it was one guy, he surely didn't walk right down the bridge or enter anywhere near there. That would have gave him away. So whoever did it knew that area, knew what they were doing, uh, and possibly the girls were lured there. They probably were, just for the fact to kill them, and that's why I think it was had something to do with drugs and this gang thing and prostitution thing. You know, and Chadwell probably was familiar with that area. There is videos of him sleeping underneath bridges when he was homeless. You know, uh, there's a lot of bridge guys. That's what I'm thinking. So no, I'm not buying it. He had a camera on him. No, whoever did it, I don't think they. I didn't. I don't think they thought the girls would have been found that fast. The next day, where they were put was where no one could see them unless you were right up on them. So you know, all the people out there that day, the girls came up missing, but yet nobody's seen the girls. You know, it wasn't until the next morning or sometime after that, late afternoon, that the girls were found. So it's possible them girls weren't there the first search, and they were put there in the middle of the night, and then the next day they found them. It's possible. I wouldn't doubt it. Tell you that much. But it's an ongoing case. We'll find out when it's all over with. DNA? I don't know. I don't know. Probably not. They probably have DNA, but it didn't. It was probably planted DNA. I mean, if somebody tried to set somebody up or something. That's what I'm thinking. If they had DNA of the killer, they would have had him already. They would have already linked him to other crimes that had DNA. They would have came out and said, "This is the DNA, and he has killed before, and Abby and Libby are not the only ones that he's killed." And I ain't taken off of the table that Sean Harmon might be a serial killer. From all the places that Sean has talked about, people are saying, well, it's possibly Sean Harmon had a hand in it. Well, I think it's possible if he was affiliated with heroin and meth and gangs and all that. I imagine, yes, they probably all know each other. That's my guess. They all were communicating with each other somewhere, someplace. Now, could it have been stopped? Probably. If Facebook or Instagram or even YouTube came out and said this is an alt account, meaning it's a fake account. So don't be communicating with it or anything like that. Which is it possible to find out if it's in a fake account or an alt ghost, whatever you guys want to call it? It's a fake account. Yeah, there's ways, and they should have detection like that. Hey, this is a fake account that you guys are communicating with, and don't communicate with that alt account or fake account or whatever it is. So it could have been stopped before it ever happened, probably. But something else is up in the Delphi case. But we're not hearing the full story of the Delphi case, or the Evansdale, or the Petito case. We're not hearing the whole story. And I have a feeling once the citizens, find out of the actual true story of what the police are dealing with. The police were hoping it was one guy, but once they got some of these guys' phones and went through the data, it turned in it was many. It wasn't just one guy that did a killing and knew about it. It was many guys that knew that it was going to happen. Now, whether it be revenge, a revenge killing, or a drug killing, someone ratted somebody out or something, or Keegan Klein got caught and made a couple calls and tried to get rid of the girls before they can talk or whatever. It's possible. It's possible. Do I think it was Keegan Klein? No. No, he was too high up. He had too many drugs and too much money. He would have paid down to the higher, lower class, the lower rankings within their club, their ring, to do it. Thus, force Kane Chadwell and the rest of these guys down in southern Indiana that all pretty much knew each other. Little crew, or whatever you want to call it. The same people that are covering the case might actually be the cause of the case, and that's what the police were saying. People will be shocked when they find out that you're the cause of all this, meaning probably many deaths. You know, yeah, that's why it's supposed to be a hush hush investigation. But they leaked. They leaked themselves. The police leaked, and the family members leaked. Uh, some of it, most of it, wasn't true. Some of it was. So that's where it goes back to tight ships. And it's obvious this case was nothing but Swiss cheese from the word go. Hello, True Crime Maria. I believe what we're watching on YouTube is a cover up of the truth. I think other people got way too deep in that case. Oh, I'm doing okay. I'm just doing some laundry and cleaning up around here, True Crime Maria. And then I'm getting ready to watch a little bit of YouTube tonight live. Uh, trivia night. It's trivia night on YouTube. You know, I don't know. The Delphi case is definitely the most tangled. They wanted it that way. True Crime Maria. They wanted you people to be as confused as possible. They're bringing every day. They're bringing in more people into that case. Tonight, I just watch all the true crime stuff, and then the channels that are like branches off of true crime channels. And then they make other channels like Trivia Night and stuff like that. There's all kinds of them. A lot of new people are getting into the true crime cases now. And some of these women are really good. They're really good. Some of the dudes are really good too. But some of these women are pretty good at. I watch Alex Erickson's channel. Mind Shock. I even watched Natasha's channel, crime channel. Who else is? All kinds of them. There's all kinds. Yeah, it is. It's good to see that they're getting awareness, but some of these, I think some of them get into it and they're really good. And then the next thing you know, the devil comes in and tempts them with money. And then it becomes a drama crime where it ain't about solving the case, it's about making the dollar. And I don't blame them. They got to live. That's the way they make their living. If I could figure out how to do it and make a dollar, I would. But I don't know. Yeah, I can't. You know, if I did anything, it'd be a Patreon, so people can donate. There don't have to be a cause. You don't have to use a little kid to raise money. Uh, you know, to make a dollar on your channel. You know, not. It's crazy. And these cases keep getting crazier every day. Me, myself, I don't believe only one guy did it. He would have had to been good. For one, I don't think he even came in by the bridge. Why? Well, because that's a dead giveaway. Someone definitely would have seen him. You know, he probably was out there, maybe underneath the bridge, waiting for the right people to come across. Maybe he was on the other side of the bridge and was waiting for a signal from somebody that they crossed the bridge and then he could come down the bridge in case they tried to escape. Somebody was on the bridge that would have been able to stop them, and then they were ambushed or whatever. That's what I'm thinking. One guy, no, one guy would have had to kill him instantly. As soon as he came up on him on the bridge, he wouldn't even talked. He would have killed him and got out of there, or pushed the bodies down the hill and did whatever he was going to do. Uh, he had a plan. He he wasn't there just to kill and get out of there. You know, something else was on his mind. Probably he was sick. He could have had sex with them. I don't know. He could have. And what gets me, True Crime Maria, is these videos that I watched that people have said, well, there was a couple that was arguing before the murders out there. A young couple, a guy and a girl, were arguing. Where did that report come from? Where did the report come from in Mindshock's video that I watched of somebody? She said somebody made a report that there was a white van out there. I guess there's some kind of a back trail road that you can get in out there off of that one main road. And they were back in there supposedly, or down by the bridge with a van, camping or whatever. Who reported that? Wasn't me. That's a video I see on YouTube. And you know what? It very well possibly be that there was a couple there arguing. Possibly. We don't know. Why? Because we don't have all the evidence. Why would somebody report that there was a van out there? Why would somebody report that there was a couple that was arguing out there, supposedly? You Could it have been somebody was out there? Could it have been the girls, the two girls that supposedly went out there looking for Abby and Libby, or that were out there at the same time? I don't know, but they were lured there. I'll tell you that much by a fake account, alt account, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, the arguing couple stuff is confusing. I think it just came from rumors, word of mouth, but then I guess one of them did communicate about them being there that day. Yeah, if I wouldn't doubt it. If somebody reported it uh, to the authorities, then there was a reason they appointed it. You know, or they reported it. So it's just not. You can't just say, "Oh, well, that's just rumors." No, if you're a good investigator and a real live authority figure, police, FBI, you got to check up on all of it, every single bit of it. Even the Sean Harmon stuff, that Sean Harmon was there and all this, and Anthony Green. I mean, and all these guys, Michael Catt, Don Buckingham is actually, I've seen in videos as a suspect. People thinking that he might have been there with some people or whatever. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think it was one guy. I think it could have been a gang affiliation, maybe. Could have been. Meaning of some kind of a gang war or something. Could have been. He was allegedly cheating on his fiance or girlfriend or something. Could have been. There's rumors out there that one of the girls was pregnant. Is it possible? I wouldn't put it past anything. I wouldn't put it past anything. Rumors of there was a dog out there. I wouldn't put it past it. If they went and picked up somebody's dog, well, then I imagine that probably there was either dog prints, maybe DNA from a dog. Maybe that's the DNA they had was from a dog. Maybe them girls were at somewhere. Maybe they were attacked by a dog. Maybe them girls had actual evidence of dog bite on their bodies. And that's why they've been taking these people's dogs. The DNA they had could possibly have been from a dog. I'm guessing probably a pit bull or something. It's what all these dudes have in common out there in these gangs is the pit bulls. But I can tell you this much: the devil had his hands in it. I'll tell you that much. God knows that. I'll tell you one thing: it wasn't God. I know that about the dog DNA. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. If the DNA they have is either planted, meaning somebody planted it to set somebody up, the police did their job, investigated it, and it all came back to be there's no way the guy was there. So, therefore, the DNA had to be planted. The other thing is the DNA is actually from an animal, and they didn't have DNA from any human. That's possible. It's possible they did have DNA, but they didn't get it from the crime scene. They got it from someone's house that they went to. And then the girls, Abby and Libby's DNA was at that house, which tied them to that house, tied them to that person. So, like I said, I think we got some of these guys. And they're looking for more, I would imagine. And that's the only thing I can think of. Either it was planted, either it's animal DNA, or it's DNA from another property where the killings actually happened and the girls' bodies were dumped at the bridge. Why? Because there's nobody out there, no authorities. It would have took a while for the girls to be found, and I think they probably were going to go back and possibly film it, doing sick stuff. But the girls were found pretty dang fast, and they probably weren't thinking they would be caught that fast. Or found, at least. I was also wondering, True Crime Maria says, I was also wondering that it seemed like something a very intelligent murderer could or would do to plant someone else's DNA. Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. No doubt in my mind. And you know what gets me is I've been listening to that video, the recording of the bridge guy. And you know what? I do a lot of recording. I listen to a lot of recording through Pro Tools and tape machines and stuff. And I'm wondering if that sucker didn't have a recording, small recording tape recorder, and had someone else's voice recorded on there and hit the button, and there's some reason why it's crackling and fuzzy and hissing in the beginning of that recording. That makes me think it's possible it was edited, or whoever was there might have been a sick person like the Joker, like Batman. Nah, I don't know. Just an opinion of mine. I've seen that before in cases where you know, some sick people. Excuse me. My apologies. Yeah, it could have been a snuff film, but you know what? True Crime Maria, it don't make sense. Snuff film, too much of a chance to get caught. For them girls to be screaming, and I know one of them. Once the one they had to be tied up. That's the only way. Nobody heard nothing, but yet there was so-called people out on the trail exactly the same time the girls were murdered. There was people there. Now, I don't care what anyone says. Once one of them girls seen the other girl die, she would have been screaming her head off. So they had to be tied up somehow, gagged, possibly. It only makes sense. It only makes sense because them girls would have screamed their heads off. you know. Yeah, but True Crime Maria, as soon as he told, he could have been feeding them a lie. But as soon as he killed one of them girls in front of the other one, all bets off. One of them girls would have screamed their lungs out. So it ain't making sense. He would have had to kill both the girls at the same time, automatically, sequence. And for order of them not to scream and yell, he would have had to cut the voice cord right off the bat. Simple as that. First thing, cut both their throats so they can't scream. No, nobody heard nothing. Two girls being slaughtered. Nobody heard nothing. You know, nobody heard a scream for help. Nobody, nothing, nothing. A lot ain't adding up. For one, the girls waited for him to come up to them on the bridge. Come on. If them girls were that scared, they wouldn't have waited for nobody to cross the bridge. They would have been running down that bridge to get away from the guy. Not waiting for him to come right up on them. It ain't making sense. It is not making sense. Everybody, the girls were scared, so she took out her camera. Okay, well, why didn't she call 911? Huh? Why didn't she call her parents right off the bat? Video call her parents or whatever, her grandparents, right off the bat. Why not call 911? They were so scared. Why not run? But no, they chose to stay right there and videotape the guy walking all the way up to them that they were so scared of. Ain't making sense. Gee, one of the girls only lived a mile and a half away. They could have cut right across the fields and got to the one girl's house. But they didn't. And it ain't making sense to me. I just don't believe two young girls, 13 and 14, scared to death, and they stand there and wait for the person that is scaring them to death to walk up on them. She could have took a photo of them and then put the phone in her pocket and come on, Abby or Libby, let's get out of here, and started running. But there's no evidence of that. You know, unless they did take off running and he caught up to them and then did whatever. But I don't find that, I find that hard to believe because them were athletic girls. Although they were young, they were in good shape. They probably would have been able to outrun them. I think one of the girls was a softball player. You know, so in order to keep them quiet, he would have had to have somebody there to control them two girls. And for nobody to hear nothing is just unphenomenal. It just ain't. And people on there, on the trail, at the same time as these murders supposedly occurred, is just unbelievable. So that tells me he would have had to kill him right off the bat. Or They met somebody there, and they took them to a different place and killed them somewhere, and then dumped the bodies there and staged it to make it look like it was something that it wasn't. But yeah, so I'm just not buying this whole thing. True crime, Maria. I just ain't buying it. How these two go? I just ain't. No, they just don't stand there and wait for the person that's scaring them to death. And Abby and Libby have been to the bridge many a times, and they probably knew exactly that whole layout of the bridge. You know, like I said, one of the girls only lived a mile and a half away, so they had to have known that place. But for them to sit there and wait for the person to come up, and not run, or not get just enough video to say this is the guy and then take off is, I just can't figure that part out. They had to know him somewhere down the road. Something. There had to be more than one. Maybe they blocked him in. Maybe they were almost across the bridge, and someone popped up on the other end of the bridge. So they were like in between. They were stuck in the middle between these people. Could have been. I just think I just can't figure out how a 13 and 14-year-old girl. Uh, I'm telling you, even if he said, if you don't be quiet, I'm going to kill her. If you don't be quiet, I'm going to kill the other one. Okay, he might have been able to use that technique, but only for so long. And if he didn't have them gagged or tied up, as soon as he killed one of the girls and the other girl seen that in real life, she would have screamed her head off. She would have screamed her head off. Good God, I know if one of my friends, something like that happened to me, you know, uh, a young kid or whatever at 13 or 14, and that happened, I would be screaming or whatever. To see somebody uh, die in front of your face. So the only explanation I can have is either them girls were capacitated right off the bat, and they put the girls where they were, or the girls ran and died right where they stood in that area, or they were taken from there and then placed there. Now, this whole thing with the phone pinging off all the towers in the middle of the night, supposedly the night they were missing, you know, if they can explain that, why it pinged all over town, uh, to me, well, that's a good chance that they were driving around with somebody, possibly. Not by their own will, or at least the phone was. Maybe, just maybe, they didn't find the girls that night, and the killer went back and got the phone. Possibly tried to do something with it, get the evidence off of there or something, or delete the original footage and put different stuff on there. I don't know. Is it possible? I don't know. It might be possible. You know, it is possible. Nah, what can we do? We can't do too much about it. It's still an ongoing case. So, you know, I think there's a bunch of them involved. This child porn ring. Watch for people. Keep an eye on for people that are getting brand new phones and stuff all of a sudden. Yeah, could be wrapped up into this child sex crap. Now all of a sudden everybody, oh, I got to get, oh yeah, it broke. Just broke. Got to get a new phone. No, I don't know. All right. Uh, I'll be back later. I got to run to the store and get some cough drops. Yeah. No, I went to bed last night feeling pretty good. I woke up today and started talking about this Delphi case. And automatically, I got attacked by something. What are we dealing with? Well, we might be looking for these people that are conjuring demons up too. If it's true, what some of them are saying, that it was a sacrificial thing to their devil, whatever. Oh yeah, we're going to be hunting these people down probably. And they keep sending these demons and witches after. I'm not the only one that is thinking that too. There's a lot of people saying it might have been some kind of a satanic ritual. The way they're talking, carvings and dolls. Like I said, they're going to be cracking down on a lot of things. I think the American people are just fed up with all this gibberish, uh, satanic stuff, and all this stuff. I don't blame them. I really don't. Trespassers, if you ask me, trespassers. No, I don't know. We'll find out soon enough, though. All right, I'll be back in a little while. True crime. Maria, thanks for stopping in. Who else? Oh, I got to get this bot off of there. Hi, robot. I think that's it. Yeah, True Crime Maria, thanks for stopping in. Oh, I seen your video the other day, True Crime Maria. Really good. I don't know how you do all that. I don't know how they do all that kind of stuff. Hey, I just make up the ideas. Other people do editing. But it was a good video. I need to polish up on my editing skills. All this stuff. Oh, God. But as long as we continue to let this witchery and sorcery stuff plague our country and let these people get away with it, I imagine they're probably going to keep killing people and sacrificing our kids and family members or whatever. I really think they are. I really do. I think some of these people belong to this old secret society or whatever it is. Even these older people, I really do. I think they are. I think it's really killed this country, the world, by allowing people to do these things. You know, and what gets me is even if it's not real, don't that tell you what kind of frame of mind these people are in if they are going to worship the devil and use witchery and use children to sacrifice and kill them? You know, you people don't see anything wrong with that. I do, even if it's not real, it's fake. It ain't real. Okay, but do you see the mind of these people that they believe in this stuff? And if you can't see, that's a problem in our country. I don't know what to tell these people. I have a disability, and I know you shouldn't be praying or sacrificing human beings. You shouldn't be praying to no devil or doing any witchery stuff. You know, it just ain't right. Even if, oh, well, it's all fake, Johnny. Okay, but don't that tell you what frame of mind these people are in? That they are sacrificing people for an idiot? It just don't make sense to me. All right, I'll be back later. I gotta go get some Hall's cough drops. I'm waiting for my towels to dry. You know, I smoke cigarettes, right? Well, I bought a bunch of brand new white towels. I never even used them yet. And I set them out on my thing and forgot to close my door. Well, I don't know how. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking it's probably when they remodeled and scraped up the linoleum floor with that machine, the dirt and dust. Got them towels looking like they were yellow. I don't know. I'm guessing it's a spout, some kind of a curse or something that they put on. I don't know. It's going to end though pretty soon in this country, and it'll be the best thing that happens for this country. I'll tell you that much. So yeah, that's my opinion. It's gone on way too long. You know, evil. I don't. I don't want nothing to do with it. And what gets me is these dudes, all these people, some of these people that are stone cold killers and sickos actually have giant subs and giant views on there. And they are proven to be nut jobs. Literally violent, very violent, violent people. Kidnapping, assaults, drugs, sexual assault against women. And here they are. It's like another Chadwell. Everybody was, oh, poor Chadwell. You know, I didn't buy it. I'm like, something ain't right with this dude. He's just evil. And then I seen him underneath the bridge in the creek. Looked like Delphi, possibly. Maybe not. Could have been another bridge, but he was saying, well, it was pitch dark out in the middle of the night. And he's out there swimming. And he turns to the camera and says, you know, this is against the law or whatever, but, well, I can do that because I can. You know, that it just was unbelievable. And I think we're dealing with the same thing with some of these other channels. Is Here we know they're very bad people. But yet, here is the whole world glorifying them as a bad guy. Their views are up, their subs are up. And I guess they sacrificed the right people to get stardom. And I don't know. That's just my opinion. Not all of them. Now, don't get me wrong. Not all these crime channels are bad people. They're good at what they do, and they have good intentions. But some of them, we shouldn't be glorifying. I'll tell you that much. Even if they didn't have anything to do with the Delphi case, their past history that's been dug up by these other people. They got rap sheets longer than both my arms and legs. All right, I'll be back later. True Crime Maria, thanks for stopping in. And I'm getting out of the crime business. Do I know a lot about these cases? No. I only know what God lets me know. And that's about it. That's about it. I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the evidence. The authorities do. God knows everything. So I only know as much as God fills me in. That's about it. You know, and I'll tell you what, it's getting old. It'll drive you nuts. And these cases will make you old. So, and we are still looking for Brian Laundrie. There is an active warrant out for him. Anyone that looks like him. And yeah, this great country, I keep hearing it. That great country we live in, as soon as a child dies, it's not the greatest country anymore. All it takes is a few idiots to mess up our great country. Once again, I want to thank the lovely True Crime Maria for stopping in this chat. Ma'am, don't pay any attention to me. Once again, all the glory goes to God, for I am nobody. And I'm glad I'm nobody, because if I was somebody, well, then I'd probably be in trouble or something. I'll be back. Have a good night. And don't take nothing off of the table when you are dealing in any of these cases. Anything is possible. Anything. I wouldn't doubt it. I'll keep that theory for myself. But like I said, I think we have some of these guys already in prison. And there'll be more on the way.